Now, Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Well, very comfortable temperatures for this time of day in Southern Oregon and Northern California. In fact, most of us are into the 60s, only a couple locations into the 70s, and that's just at 70. Grants Pass and Mount Shasta being the 70-degree folks, and out east we're looking at low 60s, 62 in Chemult, 67 in Medford, and 63 in Gold Beach. So very pleasant temperatures over us right now from the system that moved through yesterday, which gave us the wind. And today we're not going to be looking at any wind significantly, at least in terms of, well, just throughout our region. But we're going to be looking at high pressure building off to the south and west. That system way offshore, not really going to do much to our weather for today. So we did have the clouds earlier. We're going to be looking at the sunshine once we go throughout the remainder part of the morning, which isn't much left, and then we get into the afternoon, also looking very nice as well. So our stormcast showing that we did have some clouds earlier. We're going to be looking at some sunshine as we go throughout the day for today. And tomorrow we might see a few low clouds over towards the Illinois Valley, but other than that, we're going to be looking fairly clear throughout the morning. And we go through the afternoon, temperatures also going to be warmer because we're going to be looking at more sunshine as well. We get towards Saturday morning, we're going to start looking at the leading edge of a weak system that stays mostly up to our north, but it'll increase the clouds all throughout the region from the southwest towards the north and the east. The system is so weak that it won't provide any precipitation except well up to our north. And by the time we get towards Saturday morning, we might see some low clouds in the Rogue Valley from the result from that particular system. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty weak system. So for today, we're going to be looking at the winds picking up, not like what we saw yesterday, but kind of like what we normally see every day. So wind gusts maybe to 20 miles an hour and about 25 miles an hour for the Shasta Valley and along the Oregon coast. So definitely calmer overall. Forecast highs for today, mid to upper 70s east of the Cascades, low 80s for west side valleys, and mid to upper 60s along the Oregon coast. So very comfortable again for our region. Tonight, it's also going to be fairly cool as well, 30s and 40s east of the Cascades, and generally upper 40s to low 50s west of the Cascades. 52 is the forecast low for Medford. So we are going to still see some smoke from the Darlene fire over towards Lake and Klamath counties later on this afternoon, and of course the smoke from the upper Applegate fire moving into Siskiyou County as well. Now once we get towards the morning, there's not much wind, it kind of spreads out a little bit, and then we'll see that same kind of scenario for Friday afternoon. So the cooler weather that's over us now, that's starting to shift off towards the east. High pressure builds in from the south for tomorrow, so that's why temperatures go up a little bit more. That weak system on Saturday doesn't really have a whole lot of energy or cool air with it, so temperatures don't really cool off all that much, but then that moves away. We get hot temperatures way off to our southwest. They really ramp up in our region by the 4th of July, and right now it's looking like Medford could be right around 100 degrees by then. So just in time for the 4th, here we go with the forecast for the Oregon coast. 60s and 70s for the next several days. We should be pretty nice for tomorrow, and then the return of some clouds and fog over the weekend. For Northern California, we generally stay into the 80s. We're flirting with 90 degrees though on Friday, and then by early next week we go back into the low 90s, overnight lows into the 50s. For Klamath Basin, 70s for today, and then we stay into the 80s for the next several days after that. A little bit more cloud cover over the weekend, and temperatures still into the low 80s. For the Cascades, overnight lows into the 40s and highs generally into the 70s, so not so bad overall, 65 for today. And for the Rogue Valley, 80s for the next several days. We're close to 90 though each and every day, so at least it's not unbearably hot, but we get hot early next week.